Hello and welcome back to another episode of Game Chat. This is Brunner here. I got the gang is all here. I got Elite with me, and I got Anthony. And I think um, what we have in common here and how we've all met is we play video games. We spend a lot of time playing video games, and a lot of top five lists has been making the rounds on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and other socials. So I said, let's do our own top five list. And today we're going to do top five video games of all time, our personal top five video games of all time. I want to hear your top five video games in the comments, on the Instagram posts, on the TikToks. So let's see it. Maybe we'll shout you out in another episode. But I think I'll kick things off to get the boys started. I will say let's do an honorable mention for like our number 6 slot if you have one. I would say my honorable mention, my number 6 slot, is Red Dead Redemption, the Rockstar games. I've loved this game. It was gonna be my top 5, but until something else came out. But like I spent so much in that game, like it was just crazy. Rockstar doesn't miss on their characters and their worlds, which is why going into my number 5, I have GTA 5 at my number 5 spot.
Just kidding. Yeah, I saw that. I forgot about that game. God, there's so many good games.
Yeah, this list is so hard, especially even Rockstar games too, because Rockstar is so good at narrative games. Like
exactly, like Bully's good.
Yeah,
like,
Bully's good. LA Noir is good. Max Payne's good. But GTA 5, I only say this because recently I've been playing, if you guys know what GeoGuessr is, it's like they put you somewhere on Google Maps and you're supposed to know what it is, but they have one for video games. And like and they have one for GTA 5. My accuracy is like 90% on that, which is crazy. Like the game was so good. Like it was the first to introduce like you could switch between 3 characters. They did a really good job of recreating LA as best as they could, because LA is so big. The characters are great, and then the online mode. I have spent so many hours in that online. Me and my friends, and then they've updated it, and then they went from the 360. And then they, introduced the first-person mode on the next generation. And then, I was a sucker and I bought the next generation, the Series XS version. I wasn't going to say like a recency bias thing because it's been 10 years since the game came out. But it's crazy. But
yeah, we're probably going to get some backlash.
It's all about that GTA 6. Drop it in 2028.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised.
2049. But
Elite.
Yeah, that's my Elite.
So honorable mention, and I have to thank Brunner. Honorable mention is probably Days Gone.
Is that the one where you make the decisions? No, right?
No, Days Gone is this amazing game that was on. It's a PS exclusive, and basically it's a zombie apocalypse game, but you ride a motorcycle. You're a biker. And it was just such a cool game, cool story. I probably 100% of that game at least 8 times. And I keep going back to it. But it's a great game. But my number 5 game is another one that I've fairly recent game, and I've also 100% of that game probably at least 4 or 5 times too. It's Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5, I think, to me personally, I think it's the greatest one of the Far Cry series. And it just was such a cool story. It was so cool. They even did, like, instead of just dropping a DLC, they dropped like a $20 pack where it was like a whole other game in the same place, which was kind of cool. And it's just a really, really solid, good game. Everything works good with it. Again, good story mode. And that's probably easily my
number 5 is Far Cry 5. All right.
Yeah.
You told me about that when you were. I remember when you were equipped on that. I always see you on playing countless times. So that's a good one.
I bought it
That's a
on
good one.
both consoles. That's how much I like the game.
I don't know, man. Honorable mention for me again. Tough list. And I blame Brunner for putting me on the spot. Probably like Battlefront. I'm gonna just put
Which one? Which one? Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, or Battlefront 2 remastered?
Battlefront 2
redo.
remastered, Battlefront 1 and 2. Those
Okay.
two. And then maybe like all the Madden games. You know what I mean? UFC Online. Just put the EA Sports.
So, let's just put every game in your fucking console on here as an honorable mention.
Oh, there you go.
I'm just gonna rattle off 100 games. You saw there's my honorable mention.
Hey, it's not honorable mentions list. That's all that matters. But number 5, I'm gonna have to go with like Brunner said, he put it on his list. I'm pretty sure he's gonna put it on his list. But mine's Star Wars Jedi Academy. That's why it was next Battlefront. You can see it was next Battlefront. I don't know. I just have like nostalgia from that game. Playing it on the original Xbox. That was pretty cool. You can make your own lightsaber. With the hilts, you could like change it with different colors.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, the blades, the single or the dual wield, like it was awesome. There was blasters. So even the bots, I just go back and I put like team deathmatch or like capture the flag. It's pretty fun. It's just pretty nostalgic. The music, it's like the original trilogy music mostly. But it's my number 5 because I only put it there because I don't play it often. But when I do play it, it's fun.
Perfect. So my number 4 is, I don't think this is on anybody's list, but it's probably on a lot of viewers or listeners' list. Is another number 5 game, Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Skyrim, I've got my brother like hooked me onto this game. I'm not a big D&D guy. I literally told my brother, I'm like I'm not into Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. I don't fucking roll dice and listen to the game master. I'm sold, but he's like, no, you gotta.
He's a dungeon master. First of all,
he is a dungeon master.
But my point is, it's like I'm like, I have no interest. My brother's like, no, you gotta play this game, and this game is so good. Like I spent like hundreds of hours in this game, and then it's such, even though at the time it was good graphics, but it's a very immersive world, huge map. The soundtrack to the game was amazing. It's been a very memeable game because it's been a very good and popular game. But like, I had to put Skyrim there. Skyrim is definitely in my top 5, so I have Skyrim my number 4.
So my number 4 is going to be a vast collection because I can't really pick. I probably could pick one, but the reality is it's much anticipated because you just always seem to buy them all, and it's the Call of Duty series. It's got to go across the whole board and just kind of sit and say, "Oh yeah," and it's a situation of as soon as it.
What is it? What was the Kevin Spacey one? Advanced Warfare.
That was good. I don't care what anybody says. That one,
it's
had Shane in zombies.
But you kind of look at it this way. Is the way I look at it is, you're going to have a dud here or there, but the reality as it revolutionized an industry. I mean, it kind of created this whole genre of anybody that says first-person shooter, the first game you think of is Call of Duty. Plain and simple. And so it was mind-blowing, changing. The only game I could kind of sit and say was equivalent to that is when Halo first came out and you didn't have internet access. You used to have LAN parties, so everybody would show up with their TV and their dang console, and you would connect them together so you could play against each other. It was the first multiplayer. So that was kind of, but Call of Duty by far is probably number 4 for me.
Yeah, same with Elite. I'm gonna go ahead and agree. With like a series, I have one, but it's not my number 4. My number 4 though, honestly, you can't even hate on it. It's got to be Friday the 13th, boys. As much as we hate that game, we always come back, don't we, Elite? And it's like we always meet some new people, and something funny always happens. The game is terrible, but it's just like we gotta put it on the list. That's how we all. This is on the fucking damn.
You made the list.
Exactly, dude. You gotta put it in. Number 4.
Put Friday over like a Halo and fucking. I imagine Halo's. If you have Fortnite, Anthony, Fortnite's on your list, I'm gonna shoot.
Oh
you.
my god! Like, come on, this is one of my 5. Like,
dude, I'll be honest with you. That's one that's kind of be like, yeah, no, maybe not. But it's.
Well,
I mean, it's a
3.
popular. It's a popular game.
Number 3, Brunner. Go to number 3 before
What was your number 4?
Number 4
was Friday.
Friday.
Oh,
yeah, Friday.
I'm sorry. I was just that hit me like a train. I can't even think.
I saw your reaction when
He
I
just
said
put
it.
him on tilt. He's all fucked up. What?
He's like,
It's not Akira.
when I left you in the car.
All right, number 3. My number 3 is gonna be another well, it's not a franchise, but it is a franchise. But I'm gonna pick specifically Assassin's Creed 2.
That's a good
All
one.
right. Like, I could see people making the argument like 3's better, 4's better, which it is. But I mean, like 2 is what, synced its hooks in me. Like, the first game, Altair, like he's a good character, but he's a little bit one-sided. But my thing with Assassin's Creed games that it all depends on the location, which is Renaissance Italy in the 15th century. I mean, great location, and then you have a great character, Ezio. He's that dude. I mean, he's a badass. He's ladies' man. He's got that will. And then the story's such a good game. And then even I feel like, and then the Desmond stuff gets better. Like, I love it. Brotherhood was good. Revelations was good, but 3 and 4 are much better, but I got to give it to 2. Like, I spent so much time in this game, Assassin's Creed 2 is like a game, like you just run around, do your own thing, and then you kill people and you feel like a badass. So it's like one of those games you just turn your brain off and, enjoy. So definitely, it's up there. So Assassin's Creed 2 for me.
That's a good one, honestly. And hopefully with the new one coming out, I heard it's going back to its old mechanics. So
it is. It's coming out in October. I was just looking at that Mirage, and it looks very old school in the way it works, but just better quality. So I hope so too, because we were just having this discussion the other day, playing me and one of the guys I was playing Friday with, the 13th. That great game, number 4. Is how good that game was. There were certain ones that just hit right, like Black Sails, and just there were certain ones that just were perfect, and then there were ones that were just garbage. But I agree, 2 was good. 2 was very good. My number 3 is kind of the same mode you just kind of talked about. Hey, you could just get in there, and next thing you know, hours went by and you just did shit. I am going to say Minecraft as number 3.
Yeah, that was my number. I had it in my number 4 at one point.
And you can laugh all you want, but everybody in this
I was like, I knew, I'm like, it's coming. I see why, but I'm like, it's coming. I'm like, who's
everybody in this lobby has played that, and that game is, I don't know how many hours of my life. And to be honest with you, it comes down to my son. And it's when Jack was younger, and that's the first video game he got into and played with. And I spent hours upon hours of just spending time with my son at building, and you know what I'm saying? Doing joint play on the same server, and just, yeah, it's Minecraft.
I'm with you. I can get hooked onto that one for hours, and I had it on my number 4 for a minute. So, tomato, in my opinion. Minecraft number 3, good choice. It deserved to be in someone's top 3. It was. You know,
it's the all-time most downloaded video game. I think it's the all-time most sales of video game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing that's big. Well, I have a little bit of bias because I've never played the game, but because it's just I've never. I swear to God, I've never played it.
That one, dude. I'm an Ewok.
Dude, you play some corny ass games and you never played that game.
Oh, you mean like Friday? You mean for Far Cry and Days Gone? Games I introduced you to.
Golf with friends, Brunner. You showed us Golf with friends. It's telling me you never played it.
It's a gentleman's game.
It's It's funny because you play like you're the first to like go out and play like a game. Like what was that game that had like they were like the people were more like images and you shot stuff and you like ricocheted and stuff. Do you remember? It was on the
but I remember
PlayStation.
he was showing us like Jackbox and like all those like unique games. You remember?
I mean, he goes out on a limb like these games, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Heavy
Brunner
Rain,
pioneer,
stuff
man.
like
Detroit
oh,
become human.
Detroit becomes human. Dude, that didn't even make my list, but it's an honorable mention. That was a great game.
Detroit becomes human. I mean, for me, I gotta another franchise where it's like, and Brunner saw this coming. He knew this was gonna come. Got it. Put Gears of War in there.
Oh, dude, I knew you were going to
Judgment
put
4,
that.
5. You know why? Because I remember the hype behind Judgment. Like I remember the reveal, thinking it was gonna be Marcus's backstory, how he went to prison, but then it was like fucking Barrett. And I remember I hated Barrett in Gears 3 and 2. And then when I found out they're making a game just for Barrett, I was like, well, fuck this game. But I remember like the hype of like getting the Game Informer magazines and looking at the new images before they even came out. And I remember going to the midnight release in GameStop and I saw Duffy. Shout out Duffy. I saw Duffy there, and then we played that night. And I think that's when we realized the game's not as fun as 3. But still, you gotta put Judgment in there for the memories.
If you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
3 or 2. Actually, okay, hold on. 2.
Which one? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Maybe I'm gonna go Gears 2 though. Gears
maybe
2.
8.
Maybe 8. Maybe Gears 6 if it ever comes out. They ever give us a leak image at least. Like, come on. But I'm gonna go with number 2, my favorite one.
You know what, Anthony? Perfect segue because you mentioned Game Informer. I remember this. My number 2 is going to be Batman Arkham City.
Ooh.
And I remember like,
that Game Informer.
The Game Informer, the white and red.
Yes, yeah.
The white and red
white.
of Batman and Selina like tied up together, and it was white and red. Like they want to have you on that marketing budget, and it worked. And when it was a good game to back it up. So I spent like another game I spent so many hours because it's a game you turn off, and you're Batman. You are Batman. And and then
I am Batman.
And the Arkham Asylum was a good game, but you were confined to the map. But this one, they really let you, stretch your wings, you know what I mean? Because you have like old Gotham
Get it?
Is now
Stretch your wings.
Yeah.
So we're over Origins, over Night. You gotta choose City,
especially over Origins. Night, because I spent I liked Night. I wasn't a huge fan of Origins because they got different. It was different studio and different Batman actor. Because I love Kevin Conroy, R.I.P. And then also Anthony's favorite Joker reveal. And
they stopped Joker off in that game, dude. I swear, he has to be in every fucking game, everywhere.
Yeah, but and then Arkham Knight with the Hugo Strange, and then we got to see Robin, and then like the DLCs were very good. So I mean, that game was such a good game to me.
I remember Josh was like MLG Pro on Origins Online. Remember that online mode? Did you ever play it? Josh was. You could tell you himself. He fucking went in. So that's a good one. I know Josh agrees with that list.
So that was number 2.
That's number 2.
Okay, so my number 2, I have to put in 2 games because I can't pick one over the other, and they both fall into there because there's one by far that's bigger than that for me, and it's going to be Street Fighter 2, Mortal Kombat.
Okay. I can see why it's hard to trade between two.
But yeah,
it's basically you could throw Tekken in there. It's basically those games all seem to come out within like the same year of each other, and it was like, oh shoot! Now if I could put like Chun-Li fighting Scorpion, that'd be like amazing. Or like our Blanco fighting,
Sub-Zero, yeah. And I'm sure
Sub-Zero or Raiden,
going to arcades and all that, right?
And yeah, we used to do parties. We used to be like hang out with friends, and it was like winter stays on, and you just play those friggin' games. And back when you only had 2 buttons, and it was just like for hours upon hours, we'd play those games. So to me, they're almost kind of interchangeable. as one game because they're pretty much the same game, just different companies. But that would be my number 2.
It's a good one. It's a good
Shout
one.
out to Chun-Li. Shout out to Chun-Li with the kick.
Everyone in Fortnite abuses her. Number 2, I'm surprised in no one's list. I don't know if you guys ever played it. Simpsons Hit and Run.
Oh, dude, great game.
I literally, I just got my Mac to emulate games, and I've been playing Hit and Run GameCube.
I saw like both of you guys' face like in Ratatouille when he eats the fucking Ratatouille in your faces. Like I saw both of your faces like, oh shit, great game. The original GTA. If you played it, you know. If you know about the rocket car, then you're a G. You know what I mean? Like if you complete the full game, you actually make it to like the Lisa and Bart scenes, you're G. Phenomenal fucking game. Gotta have a remaster, put it on the Switch, something. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome. Not a remaster, but just re-release it, dude. And charge $60, dude. People will pay for it. My fucking light keeps dropping. I'm sorry, boys. But Simpsons Hit and Run. You got. I could literally like play that game for years.
Did you ever play the original Simpsons game? Like it was called The Simpsons.
I did.
And you like went around. You got to go to like a poos. It was pretty cool. But
Honorable
I played
the Family Guy game too. It was pretty good.
I never played that one, but
Multiverse
Simpsons
of
we used to play in the arcade. It was an arcade game for us.
Yeah. And the one with the bowling too. Is it?
Yeah, I remember that bowling one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Hit and Run because like they literally put every single reference they could from the show, into the game. Like you go to the Quickie Mart and there's the old man who was frozen in there, and then you got the Stonecutters map, and then like everything that they could put in the game
with the Rock of Shame and the Rock of More Shame.
Yeah, and then they have the monorail too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
The burning tires.
Yeah.
Springfield's getting monorail.
The burning tires. Such a good game.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a great game. Good call. Good one.
Yeah. All right. My number one. My number one is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. I said I got two different reactions, a good reaction and a bad reaction. I put Red Dead Redemption 1 on my honorable mentions, but I had to give it to 2 because I loved the character of John Marston so much, and I didn't think I could love another cowboy character as much or more than John Marston than I did with Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan is such a good character. We get such a good origin story. Everybody in the camp is unique, and like Hosea, I love Hosea, the character of Hosea. I love that we get more backstory on Dutch, and then we see John, and then the characters, the villains, the Pinkertons, and then we get more. We get to see like the Native American side of the Old West, and then the map is so big, and then it includes also parts of 1 as well. And then there's like so many like things that you miss. Even like the game's been out for 3 years, and I'm still finding stuff to that game and things I've missed and like things I, didn't pick up on. And then like the horse customization and then the bonding with your horse and then the ending, like such a good game. Like the game had only been out for it came out late October, but it only been out for like 2.5 months and it won Game of the Year. I mean, you got to give it to Red Dead. I mean, like Rockstar doesn't miss on their storytelling games. I mean, you got to give it to them. So that's my number one. I love Red Dead 2.
So my number one, it's so funny. It's like Brooders are all within like the last 5 years.
Like GTA. Or
well, that's
Friday.
true. That's
Friday's
only been around.
Yeah, it's
like
been
5 years ago.
It was 2018?
2017 for the Eagles won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, okay, 6 years. So, but mine goes back a little further than that. And mine has to go back to Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo NES. And you can chuckle all you want, man. If it wasn't for that game, there wouldn't be the consoles that we have now. If it wasn't for that game. And if you talk about like hours spent on a game, that's before we had saves. So literally you had to go through the damn game if you want to beat the game.
I remember you had to put the chip in.
Oh yeah, shit. This is before Chip, but that's probably my number one game. And it's funny is I still play it on the Switch.
Which
Every
one?
once in a while,
1, 2, 3.
the original,
Original
the,
number one.
the original one. And if I had to say, oh shoot, there was cool. 2 was cool. 3 was cool. When you got the raccoon tail, et cetera, so forth. But the original OG Super Mario Bros. It launched a franchise.
It did.
So
do you
that
play the Super Mario Maker where you can make like the old games?
I did that a long time ago. That's an old game. That was back on the NES, and they came out with it. They reissued it, but yeah, it was back then. You could make your own maps and stuff. And it's so funny as I look back on those games. Like, I want to get one of those chips things that you can get where you basically have a little box. It looks like a Nintendo. It has like every game they had, because there's so many of those simple games. Like I had on my list Castlevania, the original Castlevania.
I played that.
It's kind of a Metal Gear, the original Metal Gear. Excite Bike, remember that? I mean, they're corny to us now, but at the time they were so flipping cool and spent so many hours of my time. And
I agree. I mean, when my cousins come over, we play Mario Party. Mario Baseball is so fucking good. Mario Soccer is good. Mario Tennis is so fucking fun, dude. Like all those.
I mean, to me, is I guess the thing is like exactly like Brunner said, is it's about love of video games. And if those are the video games that made me fall in love with video games, so they're always going to be special to me as an older guy. That, oh my God, the hours of times I spent with friends that are no longer here. They passed away, and just remember, oh my God, playing that with Jeremy or whatever. And so to me, that's Super Mario Brothers. It's always going to be number one. I mean, shoot, they're on my wall. They're on my wall right over there.
It's going to be someone's number one somewhere. My number one, though, I'm sorry. Same as Brunner's. It's got to be Red Dead 2, man. It's got to be Red Dead 2. It is the first game where I actually gave a fuck if I accidentally killed somebody. Like,
then how come every time you play online, you just go around fucking everybody up?
No, it's fucking the story. The story in online is two completely thing. I don't care about my character in online, but Arthur, like, I was a menace. But then when I found out I was dying, fucking good honor, trying to get the good ending as good as I can. Brunner said, like, the connection between you and your horse, Rip Little Pump.
Little Pump.
Braids. He had braids with pink hair on, dude. It was amazing. The map is so fucking huge that when you ride, you're gonna get robbed at least 3 times if you're gonna go from like St. Denis to like Armadillo.
That friggin' map is so big, and it's probably the reason that I don't like the game as much as you guys. Is to me is like, it's so, I got into it way late. Like, I remember you guys pre-ordered it, you were playing it, and I'm like, fuck that, and so then I tried to play it, and like, everybody's so darn good compared to what I'm like just figuring out how to shoot and shit, because I never played Red Dead 1, but it almost has that like Lord of the Rings feel. Like, I'm just going and going and going and going and going,
like a Hobbit mission.
And it's like holy
the different
shit,
terrains you go through, like the swamps of like fucking
Louisiana,
St. Denis, you know what I mean? You're gonna get attacked by alligators, or you go like the grizzly woods where the fucking bears are gonna come attack you in the snow. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. You can go to a desert where the fucking rattlesnake could bite your horse, and you have to give them horse like medicine. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. That's like,
I mean, it's a good game, and graphically, it's a great game. I mean, it's a good game. What's funny is, I don't know, maybe it's just a cowboy thing, because, and Brunner can relate to this, the way that you guys were talking about that game is how I was when Ghost of Tsushima came out. And I think it's a very similar kind of game in the fact of the open, you know what I'm saying? And I feel the same way about Ghost of Tsushima, because it was just so beautiful. And like, there'd be times you just want to play it just to go around the map and see the map, because it was just not really do anything, just wander around riding your horse. But I think it's because it was like feudal Japan, samurai I'm more into than the cowboy thing. But I can respect it. It's a great game. It just
great game, yeah.
Didn't make my list, that's all. Which, that's okay. Minecraft did.
It's part of my honorable mention, so don't blame you. Great list, though. Let us know if we missed anything.
I will say one game that nobody brought up, and it was so close to me. In my opinion, the best sports game ever made, the FIFA franchise.
Well, I thought it would be included when I said all Maddens and UFC and
Yeah.
sports.
Because I thought they did a really good job with the FIFA franchise. But
There you go. That's how we agree with Elite's statement on that one, on the FIFA.
Yeah.
I never heard like any too major complaints, but I guess I'll include MLB in the hockey games too for anyone else playing those games. But let us know if we missed anything.
Yeah.
I know someone's gonna agree with the hit and run. I know it will.
that was a great one. That's a great game. There was
That
some
one's so
thought in
good.
that one.
I might check to see how I can play it. Anything else, boys?
Yeah, we should come up with like a worst. What do you think the worst game ever made is?
Friday.
Really?
Oh, Evil Dead.
Or Evil Dead. The finished
I will
game.
I'll say the worst game ever made, and it sucks because I've bought it probably 15 times. Well, not 15 times. It's a lie. 2K.
It's a good
Probably
one.
it's probably the worst
Madden,
damn
what
franchise.
was it? Madden 22.
Madden
And
22,
they-
Madden 23, Madden 24,
And they-
Madden 25.
It's fucking money grabs. But
Yeah, that's a good one.
Avengers. Shout out Josh.
oh damn, the Adventure man, that had such potential. That game. I was so excited to play it. Do you remember when we got? Oh my! I was so excited to play that
Well,
game.
all the skins are free now. If you want to re-download, Josh just texted me today like to re-download it to get all the skins.
But you know what though? The part of the pain in the butt about that is I was just talking about this recently. I was the first one of us, between Josh and all of us, to play that a lot. And what burnt me out on it was you basically played the same goddamn 3 maps all the time and had to
And
do
the
the same
robots,
3
yeah.
things all the time. It was like there was no progression to it. Okay, I made Thor to this. Now I got to do Miss Marvel. Now I got to do this. Same maps. Like they should have made it like, oh, this is Miss Marvel's map or this is Thor's map or you know what I'm saying? And it was just like kind of like it would have been so cool to do. They had so much potential in that game because I think that's the same people that did that Spider-Man people, aren't they?
It's only PS4, but I agree on Avengers. Like it's like, oh boy, I can't wait to fight robots and more robots and robots and Abomination and Taskmaster and robots and robots and Abomination and Taskmaster and robots and giant robots.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
It got
no
old.
point. No point to that game.
No point. And it's like it never ending. It was just kind of like I felt the same way with Battlefront. Like kind of like Battlefront I love Battlefront though, but Battlefront they did a good job with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Battlefront.
But it's like it was just like holy camole. It's at least Battlefront you go to different stuff and you do something different each place you go. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's enough of my rant because I could go on for another day about it.
Yeah, I agree on the Avengers for sure. Fuck that game.
But let us know your lists. Here's a hypercut for the socials. We might do a hypercut on the socials. So comment down yours. Comment down your lists. What do you think of our lists? Let's hear it. Let's compare. You might be shouted on the next episode. We'll talk about maybe we'll talk about your list. And I would say that's it. Thanks for watching.